Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have missed you guys. It's only been a few days, but I have missed you guys, and I'm so happy to kind of get back into the swing of things when it comes to our Rise and Glow series. For those that don't know, I am Kristen. I am a marketing lady by day, but the bestie you need every single day, whether it's an hour, your lunch break, or maybe next year or later this year, whenever you feel like you need a little moment of reassurance or uplifting material, I got you. And that's what this channel is all about, okay? For those that are new to the Rise and Glow series, specifically on my channel, what these videos do is we basically break down a journal prompt question, a gratitude question. I throw in an affirmation for you to take with you throughout the week. And we get into a little Bible verse and a Bible question. For those that are unaware of this, or if you're brand new, yes, we are Christian girlies over here. Yes, we believe in God and Jesus. And yes, we definitely need just a little bit of uplifting throughout our week. And that's what this is for. So today's video is all about making our goals and accomplishing those goals and milestones worth it. And by that, I mean taking the time to celebrate you, reward yourself, and continue to add more momentum and fire and fuel to accomplish the things that you've set out to do. So here's a quick backstory before we get into our question for the day. For 2025, I set quite a few goals for myself. A few of them are related to finances, some for fitness, others related to like work and school and business related things, my relationships, everything. There's like a goal for everything. Now, do I have 1,000 of them? No, I try to narrow them down to maybe like 2 or 3 per I guess you can say category. And then I break it down by quarter, and then I break it down by month, and then what I'm supposed to do every single day or weekly to make sure that I'm on track to hitting those goals. We'll go through goal setting in a whole different video because that's kind of besides the point. What this video is about is how I plan to reward myself for those things, how I'm currently doing that, and what you guys can do too to continue to help inspire you to stay focused on what it is that you hope to accomplish. Now, this year, I'll give you an example. One of the goals that I have for myself is that I really want to get into my master's program, particularly at U of M, Ross School of Business. And it's just a goal I have for myself and I set out. It's been about 10 years since I've been in college, but there are things that I want to learn for my career that I think it would be best for me to at least go there and get the knowledge that I want. So again, it's a personal decision, but it's a goal for myself. And along the way, there are milestones I need to hit to make sure that I reach the goal of getting into the school and starting the program later this fall. One of the goals is that I have to pass my quantitative readiness course, which will allow me not to have to take a standardized test to continue on with the application process. And it's something I'm currently studying for. So every time I complete like a module or a quiz and I pass it, I reward myself, whether it's, grabbing a favorite drink, going to grab a quick bite to eat with my son, or simply just taking a break the very next day and watching one of my favorite shows. So like little rewards. It's not like, oh, I'm going to go take an extravagant vacation. No, it's not that. It's just something that says, oh, I did it. Let me do something for myself kind of thing. That way it keeps the momentum going. So I make sure that I'm doing the things that I need to do to get into the school, but also it keeps me inspired because, hey, not only did I reach my goal of passing, for example, that one little quiz, but I'm one step closer to getting into the school of my dreams for my master's program. So it's just a way of just, I guess you can say, being grateful and also just being proud of myself, because we spend so much of our time being proud of others. Now, don't get me wrong, you should still continue to do that. Like, for example, I'm a mom, so I am always proud of all the little things my son does, whether he scores a basket, he brings home a really good math test that he was so excited about. He told me he was a very good friend. He stood up and raised his hand in class. Whatever the case is, he wants to tell me all about it, and I always praise him. My boyfriend, the same thing. My best friend's the same thing. But then I stopped to thought, I'm praising everything else that people are doing, but I'm forgetting one person, me. And so what I started to do, as I mentioned, is I would take the time to acknowledge little things that I do, because when you acknowledge the little things, it makes the larger goal not seem so extra or big. It makes it seem more achievable, and it allows you to just feel good in the moments of doing things. Because keep in mind that this life is not a sprint. It's not always about the bigger picture. Sometimes you do have to take a step back, smell the roses, and appreciate the small things in your journey. And before we get into the journal prompt, again, I do want to highlight one thing that I have started doing, and I'm looking at it right now. And this is called my I did it jar. That's what I call it. It's a way just to remind myself of all of the amazing things that I accomplished during the year. So what I do is I take a mason jar, okay, and I take some old construction paper that my son had from projects that he wasn't using it for. And what I would do is, like, every day, weekly, or whenever something happens, I would take a piece of construction paper just like this, and I would write whatever it is that I did. So recently I reconnected with one of my childhood friends that I really haven't spent as much time with because I've been busy. And it was something I thought that was a good thing, because it's improving my social goals, goals for the social category of my life. But it's important to me. So I would write this down, fold it up, put it inside my jar. And so this time next year, or before January 1st, that's my goal of 2026, I'll take the time to read everything that I did this year. Not so much of, oh, I took this trip, or, oh, I got into the school I wanted, or things like that. I can acknowledge even the small things that I've done. And I think it's just super important to find a way for you to reward yourself, because like I said, it makes the goals and the dreams that you have more real, and it allows you to appreciate where you're headed. So without further ado, let's get into the journal prompt question of the day. And that is, it's more related to me, but you can kind of, modify it to fit yourself. So the question is, how can I make saving for my solo retreat, that's what I put down, feel like an exciting and rewarding journey? So one of the goals that I do have for myself, on top of trying to get into graduate school, is to start something a little different. And that is saving or planning a solo trip for myself every year, because it's deserved. I'm always concerned with planning a trip for everybody else, whether it's a vacation with my man or a family vacation with my son and my mother and my father. I forget just to take some time for me. And so one of the things I wanted to save for was either I call it a staycation, where I just find, a really cute boutique hotel here in downtown Detroit, where there's so many of them, by the way, or find a all-inclusive resort, maybe somewhere in Ohio, Tennessee, doesn't matter. Nonetheless, it's going to be a solo trip because it's needed. And so I firmly believe, and this is what I wrote, if you guys are catching me looking down, I wrote that I think everyone deserves to have a moment of peace just for them. And honestly, that's my way of doing that. And starting this year, like I said, I've decided to save at the beginning of the year. So by the time it's like my birthday or before back to school time comes, I can take a trip for myself. And it could just be 3 days. And I would use that trip, let me be very clear, to kind of refresh my mind, allow my body to relax, disconnect, meaning unfortunately there may be a day I may not be able to record, but I have to do those things. So by the time I come back and it's time for back to school and it's time to kind of get up and go with work, with school for my kids, sports, anything that people have asked of me, I am completely ready to do just that. And I'm refreshed. So with that, I guess you can reframe the question for yourself and consider maybe even saving for a solo retreat if you're able, okay? Now, I know that people that are listening to my channel, you may be a solo parent like myself, or you may have families, doesn't matter, but you do need to take that time for yourself. Now, whether it's your solo retreat is simply just going to get your nails done by yourself, or simply just going to sit in your car, whatever it is, plan that. Make sure you put that time on your calendar, whether it's every month, every quarter, or for me, it's just once a year. Find that time, carve it out, and make sure that you really dedicate a time for yourself, and make it a goal, make it a reward for you maybe at the end of accomplishing a goal that you set out for yourself. Make that the reward, and it'll make things a lot more fun and more exciting. All right, so the gratitude prompt that follows up behind that. Now, keep in mind, these two are different. My first journal prompt, I call it a power journal prompt. So it reframes your mind. The second one is more a way of you showing gratitude and grace for the things that you have, people, places, things, or just, I guess you can say, things that you're doing that you should be, grateful for. So the question is, what moment of self-care am I most grateful for today? Now, me as a morning person, if you've been on this channel, you kind of can get a drift. I really am. I get up at 5:30 every day. The moment of self-care that I am grateful for is being able to have my morning coffee with my C cup and taking the time to journal and just spend quality time with myself undisturbed. Let me be clear, because my mornings get a little busy. I'm getting dressed, I'm making sure my son's lunch and breakfast is ready, getting my vitamins. There's a lot of different things going on. I'm always moving. But in moments where I could just take the time to release whatever's on my mind, answer whatever the question is, and kind of get myself prepared for what I'm getting ready to take on in the world, that in itself is self-care for me. It extends farther than just a bubble bath and, getting my nails polished. It's a way of spending time with myself that is needed. And in order for myself or even you to pour into others, you have to fill up your glass first. That's what they say. Fill up your glass first before you can pour into others. It's important. I think that's the way you say it. Okay, so let's go into the affirmation. So for those that are new, how I do my affirmations are very simple. I give you an affirmation and I would recommend personally maybe writing it down. I usually write mine in my journal at the very bottom, or you can write it on a sticky note. Maybe you can write it on your little piece of paper, whatever fits your boat. And I recommend just repeating it 5 times to yourself. That way, not only have you written it down, but you've affirmed it in your mind that what you're saying is true. And my affirmations, just to give you guys a heads up, they're not your traditional, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow. Oh, I'm going to drive a GMC, just give an example, a Mercedes Benz. It's nothing like that. It's more so affirming the things that are already true about you, but making them feel more real. So my affirmation for the day is, I deserve to invest in experiences that nourish my soul. Say that to yourself, and I'll repeat that again. I deserve to invest in experiences that nourish my soul. So as you can tell, my affirmation and my journal prompts have a little theme to them. So that's what you'll notice too on this channel. They all have a theme. So repeat that to yourself, write it down, and kind of start to feel the manifestation of that as you say it. Even repeat it to yourself throughout the day if you need to. If you, feel guilty, because some of us do, where you have to step away from your kids or your spouse, repeat that to yourself, because it'll help you reframe your mind and your thinking around taking the time that you need for yourself. And again, I'll say it again. I deserve to invest in experiences that nourish my soul. All right, let's move on to the Bible verse for the day. So again, for those that don't know, here on this channel, we are Christian girlies, okay? We believe in God and Jesus, and we are just here to not only spread the word, but also live and breathe the word and be that word as well. And so this particular Bible verse, again, ties into the theme of the day. And I'll read it to you guys. It comes out of Psalm chapter 37, verse 4. I wrote this down. And the verse says, enjoy serving the Lord and he will give you what you want. I like that verse because it's telling me a couple things. It's telling me that I need to trust that what God has for me, it's gonna come true. It is. And if I delight in him, and if I am able to serve him in the best way that I know how, I know that the things that I have prayed about will come true. They will, if they align with what he asks of me to do. So again, I'll read that to you guys. It comes out of Psalm chapter 37, verse 4. Enjoy serving the Lord, and he will give you what you want. So that does not mean turn around and serve, your neighbor and all these other people. No. Take the time to serve the Lord, which means doing the things that he asks of you to do. And they're fairly simple things. If you don't know, open your Bible. That's the one thing I can say. Open it up. There's a page in there that'll tell you. can't tell you specifically because I'm not a pastor, not a preacher, but I'm one of those people that can identify areas that resonate with me, that identify what exactly it is that he needs of me to do, if my mind is open to listening. And it always usually is in the morning. It's the best time. Even at night, I always take the time, like I said, to read a passage that I've designated for the theme I'm thinking about. And I resonate that with what is going on in my world right now, and pretty much sit down and listen to what God needs me to do. And again, by enjoying the fact that I am serving him in this way, I am confident that the things that I've written down, whether it's my goals, for example, of going to a master's program, being an amazing mother, or just taking the time I need for myself, those things will come to fruition because it could possibly be a part of his plan for me. So again, you have to identify what that would be for you, and just take that Bible verse as a way of, I guess you can say, reassurance and reaffirming the things that you already know to be true. All right, so the question that goes alongside that Bible verse is very simple. How can delighting in the Lord help us align our desires with his plans? And I kind of already answered this. It's really simple. Show gratitude. Just be grateful for the things that you currently have and the blessings that are in front of you. Even if it's hard to see that, even if you feel like you're waking up stressed and tired every single day, never stop being grateful, because there's somebody out there that wishes that they had what you had. There's someone out there that wishes they had a roof over their heads, food on the table, clothing on their backs, a loving family, a loving, just partner, maybe even a loving child. There are people out there that wish they had those things, and you are grateful enough to have them. And when you take a moment to show that gratitude, like you hear the gratitude prompts for me every so often, just take those things and resonate with them, and just take a moment to show that you're grateful, because that's something that, it takes you a step further in delighting in the Lord, if you will. And by doing so, it'll allow you to open up your mind and also open up your heart to what it is his plan is for you and what you desire for yourself. Because if you open yourself up to the Lord, he'll show you the way. He'll show you, what he has in store for you, and it'll allow you to make sure that those desires, especially if they're positive ones, to align with what his plan essentially is for you. Well, with that, I always invite you guys, again, please like, comment, subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to grow this thing out, trying to reach the next person that needs a message like this. So it resonates with them. It may not be for you. It could be for your neighbor. Whatever the case, please definitely share it. And for those that don't know, I am actively working on my website that will launch, that will contain pretty much all the videos that we've talked about, but also some additional resources. I'm working on a course for my marketing side of things and a confidence building course. And I'm also eventually going to have a merch line too, where it's just a rise and glow, or just something that, you want to wear that makes you feel good. Because on this channel, we feel good. Okay. Well, thank you. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week.